So usually when I make one of these videos, I put lots of things in it like, it's your Instagram account, you do it the way you would do it, but I recommend this. I'm not going to do that in this video because these are things that I just don't think anybody should do. The first of these is do not use these kind of spammy hashtags like follow for follow, follows for likes, likes for follows, all of these kind of weird hashtags that just basically scream spam and I don't care about the platform. So there is a finite amount of hashtags. It's 30. Instagram have recently said to use 5, but still, if you go above 30, it won't let you post. So there is a finite amount, and that is just a waste of a hashtag that you could have put in front of someone that might enjoy your content, not this kind of spammy rubbish. The other thing is that if you did actually gain followers through that, that person only followed you because they want you to follow back, and they'll probably just unfollow you anyway. That is just something that just does not need to happen. The next thing that you should absolutely not do or stop doing if you are doing it is advertising in other people's comments. Now, I'm not talking about commenting something that may benefit you. That's a bit more of a grey area. I just mean 100% just advertising something in other people's comments. You get a lot of bots doing this, so they'll say something like, I don't know, I used so-and-so's investment strategy. But you do really get people who are just quite simply saying, come and check out my page, come and check out my post in other people's comments, and just don't do that. The next thing that really gets to me is when people DM just begging for shares. And I don't mean asking nicely. Again, that's kind of nuanced. If someone says to me, hey, I'm just getting started and would you mind sharing this? I will just say, no, I'm sorry, I can't, because if I shared your thing, I have to share everyone's thing, so I'm just not going to do it. It's when someone is actually quite aggressively trying to get you to share their content. It's highly likely that the person that you're asking for the share from is someone who you respect, and that's the last person that you want to be kind of begging to do something for. You want that person to show mutual respect, which you would gain through creating really good content or reaching out to them in another way, in a more respectful way. And the other thing is that they just won't share it. There is no one with a big, serious account that will share content purely because you told them that they should. So long story short, don't beg people to share your content in their DMs. It's just not a good thing to do. The next thing I would just absolutely stop doing if you are doing it is follow unfollow. And this is a funny one because everything else that I've talked about so far has a negative effect on you if you're doing it. Follow unfollow just kind of doesn't really. It's actually kind of works. If you follow loads of people, some of them will follow back and then you unfollow them. It's not a good thing to do, but it does kind of work. So my recommendation here is stop following and unfollowing. Let's make Instagram a much better place to be. And for anyone who is curious about the unfollows, if you're getting a lot of people unfollowing you, they're probably doing this follow unfollow thing, but it happens for everybody. I would say half of the people that follow me daily, that same number, half of that is unfollows. There are some days I think where I get more unfollows than I'll get follows. Now, it's not that I don't get a lot of follows, it's more just that there's a huge number of people unfollowing on Instagram, which is interesting because I don't use any bots or anything. I don't use any crazy third-party apps. It's just most of it comes through YouTube and sometimes through posts and stuff like that. So it is very strange that you get so many unfollows on these platforms, and I really do think that it's bots being deactivated, it's people deactivating their accounts, and it is people actually just genuinely unfollowing. And probably some people are just angry that I put out a reel or they don't like this particular photo, but that happens to everybody. Now, the next one, we're going to go into something that I'm much less triggered about. This is sharing TikToks as Reels. I still see people sharing TikToks with the TikTok logo into their Reels, the things that they've created. Now, Instagram have absolutely said, do not share Reels with watermarks because they won't get anywhere near as much reach. That is their political way of saying, don't share TikToks as Reels because we don't want TikTok logos on Instagram and we will just crush your reach if you try and do that. So that's not me being triggered that people are doing it. I'm really just saying it for your own good. Stop sharing TikToks to Reels if you want to get the most out of it. I've heard there are sites where you can remove the watermark, but I've also heard that that still contains the metadata. I'm sure there's some hacky way of doing it. The best thing that you can do is just create it natively in the Reels app, or another way of doing it would be to create them sort of natively on your phone and post to Shorts, Reels, TikTok from one kind of unbranded piece of content. That'd be a way of getting around it. Now, this next one, this really gets to me, and I think the reason I included it is because I just got an advert from a company that does it. And this is people that share those 9 grid images to their feed. This is where you've kind of got 9 posts that make up one image. Now, it looks kind of cool on your grid, I guess, But if you look at the actual individual images, it looks ridiculous to anyone who's seeing just that one post. The other thing is, if you check these posts, they get zero engagement at all, because why would you engage with just like a tiny little square of someone's post? And what I would do is just use Instagram the way that Instagram designed it to be used if you want to get the most out of the platform. If you want to try and break it, that's fine, but just realize that by breaking the way you're posting, you're breaking your own reach and, engagement on the platform, which is fine if that's what you want to do. If you want to get the most out of the platform, use it the way that Instagram have designed it to be used, and don't listen to this company who are saying, this is modern, this is, the cool way of doing it, this is what everyone's doing now. It's not. Maybe that's shots fired a little bit, I don't know. Now, the next one kind of goes without saying. This is buying likes and buying followers. Now, this is bad for a few different reasons. The first is just that it's very, very easy for anyone who knows what they're doing to see that that's what you've done, and it doesn't look good. It kind of takes away any credibility that you wanted from that account, and the only reason you do it is to kind of gain credibility. It's almost worse that you bought the likes than if you had less followers, I guess. There's no real value in that follower number. It's more about the activity. But if you're going for credibility and that person sees that you're basically lying about the people that care about your work, that's not good for your credibility. The other reason is that this will actually cause you problems when you do care. I think most people buy likes and followers at the beginning. They don't just build an account for a few years and then go, do you know what? I'm gonna spoil myself. I'm gonna buy loads of followers. I've been good this year. I'm just gonna buy them all. That's not really what happens. What generally happens is someone starts, realizes how hard it is, and then buys a bunch of followers, or they get an ad for something that they think will work but doesn't. And it's only a little while into this that you start to realize that you do want to use your Instagram account for something good. And you realize that you kind of messed it up because you've done this thing that is hard to undo, not impossible, but it's hard to undo. And you only really realize this late on, so don't buy likes and followers. The other thing is there is absolutely no value in it. The value comes from you and your work. That's where the value comes in, okay? I have an account for my cabins work. It has about 300 or 400 followers on it. Now, obviously, I have a bigger account and a reputation on my bigger account, but some people do come to just my cabins account, which has 300 or 400 followers. They see the posts that I've done, and they will, we'll work together just based on that. And the other thing is, it's just a waste of money. If you really want to use your money, use it in a proper way. Invest it in yourself. So you could buy new tools, create better work, and get more followers that way. Or you could just simply advertise. There are lots of different ways you can do that. I think that buying followers is the worst investment of money possible because it actually harms you. So if you're buying followers, stop. Now, all of these things that I've talked about, excluding the TikTok one, have something in common. It is basically you spending time doing something which is not you getting better at your craft. It's not you putting more time into your business. It is not you putting more time into your content or your communication on the platform. Those are the things that I would recommend doing. And if you are spending 10 minutes spamming some stuff, that's 10 minutes you could have just reached out to some people and spoken to and connected with, or it's 10 minutes you could have put into your business. Now, I don't put a huge amount of time into my Instagram, but the time that I do put in is meaningful in both ways. I will connect with people. I will message someone to say, hey, great work, or I will comment on someone's thing saying, I love this is brilliant, and I will try and tell them why. I don't put a lot of time in, but the time that I do put in is meaningful, it's human, and it means something. At least it does to me. Now, I have been on social media since it started, so I have done every single one of the things in this video, and that is why I'm telling you not to do it. It's out of experience, not out of me being like the Instagram police or anything like that. I hope this video resonated with you. If it did, hit the like button. If you're not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button, and if you do, I will see you in the next video.